Well, hello, YouTube. Welcome back to the Man's Kitchen. It's me, your host, James the Food Man, and today we're going to make up a very super simple, tasty comfort food. And we're going to do it right after this. And we're back from that intro. Now, if you like my channel, you have to hit that subscribe button and ding the bell icon. That way you get notifications when I make new videos. Also, if you like today's video, leave a like and hit the like button below and leave me a comment in the comment section letting me know what you like to do with your scalloped potatoes. Also, if you want to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, that way you can see cool behind-the-scene pictures when we do stuff here in the Man's Kitchen. Now, for the scalloped potatoes, I'm going to show you the ingredients we're going to use right now. Okay, guys, between now and last time you saw me, camera wife Heather said, no, you have to call it loaded. They're loaded potatoes. And why are they loaded? Well, first we're going to start with 3 pounds of potatoes. And then what are we going to add that's making these loaded? I have 13 ounces of chicken breast pre-cooked. Now I know what you're saying. James, you're not showing us how to cook the chicken? I've shown you many times before how to cook chicken. And if you want to see some awesome chicken dishes, right over my shoulder will be a link to my chicken playlist, where you can see actually how to cook chicken. What else is going to make these loaded? Well, I have what's left from a pound of bacon. And when I say what's left, I mean what I didn't eat while I was cooking the bacon. And about 2 cups of cheese. It was up about 3 cups till I pushed it down a bit to get a more accurate measurement. I would say this is about 2 cups of cheddar cheese. Now that's what's going to make it loaded. And then we have the traditional scalloped potato ingredients. We have some milk. I have 2 2/3 cup milk. I also have some cream. Instead of just going all cream, I'm going to add some extra richness to the dish by using a little bit of 10% cream. And to thicken it up, we have the makings of a roux, a 1/2 cup butter and a 1/2 cup of flour. And I'll show you how to put this all together coming up next. Alright, I have a sauce pot over on the stove getting warm. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to melt my butter and my flour into it to make the roux for the milk and cream. Now, lots of recipes will have you just sprinkle your flour over your potatoes, throw the butter in, add the milk, and let it happen in the oven. But that leads to the chance of not everything incorporating properly. So I'd rather take the extra step of putting it together in the pot. So I have my butter cut up into little bits, so that way I won't have to wait for the whole 1/2 cup to melt. It'll melt a lot quicker this way. Oh, you can already feel the steam coming off of there. Take our wooden spoon. Give everything a good stir. I preheated the pan on high, but I turned it down to low before I turned the camera on. And I have a pool, I have almost an instant pool of butter down here now. I bring this over to show you. Right there, it's almost all gone. So we'll add the flour. And what we're going to do is we're going to stir this to make a white roux. Roux comes in primarily three different varieties. White, blonde, and brown. Now for a milk sauce, a white sauce, you would say you would want a white roux. If you're going to do a gravy, you would want a brown roux. And depending on the sauce in between, you might want a blonde roux. So we're going to cook this for 2 minutes, and I noticed the time on my microwave said 4:55 when I started. So I'm going to cook this to 4:57. All right, it's been the 2 minutes required, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch to a whisk. I'm going to pull out my wooden spoon, and I'm going to add only about a 1/4 cup worth of milk. Basically, that's going to temper this, and it's going to stop it from seizing. Well, it's seizing a little bit, but what's going to happen is it's going to stop me from getting lumps. That's what it's going to do. So now that I'm whisking this in, it basically looks like mashed potatoes. So I'm going to add the rest of my milk. And I'm going to whisk this in. There are no lumps whatsoever in here. And we're going to add what appears to be 1/3 cup of cream. Now, we're going to add some kosher salt. And you can be a little generous here because this is where you're getting your seasoning from. Okay guys, while that's going, we're going to take our bacon and we're going to make some bacon bits. Now, I don't want to go too fine and I don't want to leave them too coarse. I want to be able to find them and know I'm eating bacon when I'm eating them. So we're just going to run our knife through these. Okay, we'll put that on the corner of our cutting board. And next, we'll grab our chicken. Same thing with the chicken. Just going to run our knife through it. You don't have to fry the chicken up if you don't want to. You can poach it if you want. You can just throw it in. You can just boil it if you really wanted to. You're not going to get the caramelization on the outside, but you are still going to cook it that way. Now, what I did here was I cooked the bacon first, and then I cooked the chicken in the bacon fat. That way, everything's going to get that nice smoky bacon flavor. Okay, now that this is done, we're going to set that off to the side. We're going to grab our pan and we're going to grease it with the rest of the bacon that I have, or the rest of the butter that I have. Might not need all of this. This is just what was left in the package. So we're going to grease this up. Okay, and yeah, I have a little bit of butter left over. So now that that is done, all that's really left is for us to assemble, and we need our sauce for that, and we need to wait for that sauce to come to a full boil to cook out the starch of the roux. You should let it simmer for about 3 to 4 minutes afterwards to cook the starch out. So I'll get back to you after my sauce boils. Okay, our sauce is thickened up, so we're going to put our potatoes in here. Just going to line up our pan. I'm going to dole these out. So you could do this in a slow cooker if you wanted, but instead of cutting your potatoes like this, you could cut them up like little hash browns. Or if you're doing this in a hurry, then you could just get some frozen hash browns and you could throw all the ingredients basically into your slow cooker. Set it on for a couple hours, and then take off. Go do what you have to do. Okay, so I think we're going to get a spoon or something to help get the sauce out. It smells so rich. Take a spatula of some kind. It'll help spread it around. Okay. So we'll put just a little more in the corners that we're missing. Okay. And now we're going to go up for layer 2. Gonna load on some more potatoes. Some more bacon. I think you guys get the idea. Some bacon, some chicken. Some cheese. Some more sauce. Okay, final layer. Okay, I have like maybe half of a small potato left over, so it's not a big deal. Okay, you know, and that really also doesn't matter if you jump the gun and put the sauce in first like that, or then put the bacon in. But what we are going to need to do is get every last bit of sauce out of here to make this work. So we're going to take our spatula and clean out our spoon, or ladle, whatever you want to call this. It's more of a spoon. Okay, we're going to go into our pot. Looks like we're going to be a little short on our sauce, actually. Probably by about a quarter cup of sauce. So we're just going to take some of that cream, since we are using the cream, and we're just going to make it up really by just pouring some cream in. Okay. No big deal. Still gonna cook up all nice. And with that leftover butter, since this is just too small of an amount to put back in the fridge for anything, I'm just gonna throw knobs of butter around on the top for extra velvety richness. Because everybody knows butter's amazing. Except for camera wife Heather, who is 8 months pregnant and just looked at me and said, "You are going to make this horrible. I'm pregnant. What are you trying to do to me?" But we'll see if she says the same thing when she's mowing down on this. I don't know. Anyways, we're going to put this in the oven. We're going to wrap it up in some tin foil. I always like to put a layer of saran wrap underneath my tin foil, so I'm going to saran wrap it. I'm going to tin foil it. And I have my oven preheated at 375 degrees. I'm going to shoot this in there for 45 minutes to an hour. Okay, everybody, it was 45 minutes. I turned the oven off. I tasted it. It was ready. We weren't ready yet. We just let it sit in the oven for another half hour while we did some stuff. Moved on. It's out now. Saw the picture of how it looked finished in the thumbnail. I got it here on my plate. And I'm going to tell you an advanced tip. When we do this kind of stuff at the restaurant, we always cook it twice. When we do dishes like this or lasagnas, we always cook them ahead the day before, because overnight it gets a chance to set. Then when we reheat it the next day, it always stays in its shape. It doesn't like mush out and pour out like this. All right, now let's taste this up and see how we did. Let's see if we can get a little bit of bacon, a little chicken, and a little potato all in one fork. That potato is definitely nice and tender. It's so tender it just fell off my fork. And hot. Whole hot. I need something to drink. Ooh. But, like a glutton for punishment, let's shove some bacon and chicken in our mouth. That bacon, that chicken, that potato, that cheese, it all comes together in a very righteous combination. This is definitely a repeat. This might even become a monthly staple around the house. If you like today's video, hit the like button. If you like my channel, hit that subscribe button. And remember, you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook for updates on when we post, behind the scenes photos, random tweets, all kinds of fun stuff. Until next week, in the Man's Kitchen, I am your host, James the Food Man.